Rotta is off the frickin' chain, bro. Absolutely insane. But how do we use him? How do we mod him? What are we going to do with him? Make sure you lock in. We've got a couple of hours before GAC, so you're probably not going to do it in time for this. But oh my lord. Dear me, Rotta. Chill. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your boy Scriber. How you doing? So, we had a late one last night. A little bit tired, and I've been working all day. I've been wanting to try and get some setups over here for brand new Rotta the Hutt. I'm going to go over provisionally how I think people should be modding him, how I think we should try and approach him. Will say, full disclosure, mine is Relic 10 here, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll go through some general ideas about how to approach him, as well as the actual hard stats that I've gone through. So, generally speaking, for Rotta the Hutt, treat him similar to how you treat Wampa. I say similar, not exactly the same. Rotta cares a lot about tenacity, you care less about tenacity on Rotta the Hutt, right? Also, Wampa, you tend to lean more into that survivability stance because eventually Wampa should ramp up enough damage to defeat opponents. Rotta is very similar, but it's got a lot more damage potential straight out the gate, okay? With that in mind, there are two kind of ways that I can see people modding this guy. One, pure bulk. Pure bulk survivability with a little bit of offense on the side and let him ramp up over time. I've gone for maybe let's not let it time out quite so much. Even at Relic 10, where I play in the game, people tend to be quite chunky. Lots of Relic 9s, lots of Relic 10s. I want to try and get that damage advantage right away. So I've gone for an offense set and a defense set over here. You know my stance on this whenever we've talked about mod setups in the past. Sets and primaries and stuff like that are not really the goal, ladies and gentlemen. You don't look at it and go, oh, you must use 2 defense sets and 4 offense sets. No, it's just those what enable you to hit the stats. The stats are what matters. Usually, you need to use particular sets and particular primaries to get there. So, with that in mind, I've got speed on the primary over here. You could just as easily go for an offense primary. You could just as easily go for a health primary or something like that, dependent on your needs. I've got this one because it's rather tasty with 14.19% defense on it. Like to see that a lot. We've also got crit damage on the triangle. This is absolutely necessary. There is no other mod setup that will allow you to get 42% crit damage. It is a big force multiplier, so you definitely do want to have that crit damage. And I've got offense over here on the cross. Now, as for secondaries, what are we looking to prioritize? We're looking to prioritize speed, because I like to have mine as a speedy boy. He's at 342. You do not need to be this fast. Anything over sort of 300, 310, 320, 330, all that sort of numbers, they're all good. Just don't have him slow as molasses, okay? Health, I've got 107,000 at Relic 10. This could definitely be higher. It could definitely be higher. Protection, 71,000. This could also be higher. He doesn't have a really high base protection value, but his unique is giving him like 250% additional max health as well as max protection. So bulking this up will allow him to survive more attacks. Apart from that, I'm bottoming out his potency. His potency is garbage, ladies and gentlemen, but a lot of his status effects cannot be resisted, particularly when he is alone. Damage. Mine's Relic 10, so 13.2k. I could probably push this higher if I really tried to, or I could sacrifice some of it in order to put that back into bulk, you know? Generally speaking, if you're looking for bulk, I like to get defense sets, but health primaries, okay? So we are using offense over here, but on the circle, for example, I'm going health over protection because he has a higher base health pool, and that's then going to get multiplied later. So health over protection, in my opinion. If you do not have good defense sets, you can settle for health sets. Objectively, it's not quite as useful as defense sets because the damage mitigation that you have from high armor is going to outweigh the additional bulk that you get from stats. So 13.2k damage, and I'm rocking 66.4k. 66.4k? That would be amazing. 66.4,000% armor? No, 66.4% armor. This is not massive by any stretch of the imagination. You could certainly go higher, and you could probably swap this out for like all defense sets or health sets and defense sets, whatever floats your boat. Like I said, I like going for offense. Let's see how he actually performs though in Squad Arena. No support, no FDC, against Galactic Legends. I think we'll start off against Mick over here. He's running a Relic 10 GL Layer. Crit chance and recover protection when they recover health. Let's give this one a bish bash bosh. Obviously, we're going to take everybody off, and I am using the Luminara FDC over here because it gives 100% crit damage and offense. The potency tenacity, you could probably use something like the Darth Revancron if you like, but I just like the Lumicron as a stat stick, generally speaking. You could also go for something with like masses of defense as well for that survivability. Now, in particular versus Leia, all I'm going to say is ignore the ads. Just ignore them. Focus exclusively on Leia. You don't want her to be ramping up and gaining lots of mastery and lots of ult charge very, very quickly. Just focus on her. Every time we basic, we're basically going to be lowering the defense of our opponents. And you want to focus down on her and let the AoEs deal with the ads. Let the counterattacks deal with the ads. And you should be relatively okay. Leia is, to this day, considered to be top tiers in terms of Galactic Legend viability and PvP on both offense and defense, okay? A lot of people save her for offense because she is kind of a trump. She will beat literally everything. And Rotta is also trying to prove that point. I mean, see you, R2. See you, buddy. Now, obviously, they can get some revives with the likes of Jin, but they won't be able to revive with Leia's ultimate because she has to defeat Rotta, and she's going to have a hard time defeating Rotta. Obviously, the bigger and bulky... Oh my god. Oh my lord. Goodbye, Leia. Goodbye. It was nice knowing you, honey. This is insane. This is without Omicrons, guys. No Omicrons active. We don't have the FDC. If we had the FDC, we could take a whole team in. And I actually feel like the team probably would just result in worse banners at this point. Destroyed GL Leia. Not even close. Bye, mommy. Okay, next up we've got a Rey. Relic 10 Rey. Lots of relic levels and Sortie with the Sortie-cron over here. Is that Zalbar? And Cal. I haven't faced off against this team in Squad Arena yet. I'm just kind of curious to see what can we get done with Rotta. Feel like Rey is going to be a real tricky customer. Just because her ult is going to hurt. It will hurt us. Whoa! Zalbar not able to take a hit. Not able to take a hit at all. Here comes the whirlwind. There, that does do significant amounts of damage to us. Let's just see. Can we actually survive versus this squad setup? Sortie obviously does great damage as well. We all know that with her FDC. It's not an FDC, it's a standard datacron, isn't it? And we've got the armor shreds coming out of Ben Swolehole as well. So this is where it's going to get me worried. Feel like the ult is probably going to tear us a new one. Yeah, that's to be expected. Now with the FDC, definitely see Rotta being able to take out Rey because you can take in a full team. Next up on our list, we're going up against Pirate King Hondo. Standard setup over here by the looks of things, using a Luminara Cron. Not sure how we'll deal with this. In GAC, I feel like Rotta will destroy this because there will be no revives. Outside of GAC, I feel like that is definitely going to be a little bit harder. Now, what I would like to do here is kind of treat this similar to Leia, in that I want to ignore all the ads and focus exclusively on Pirate King Hondo. Rotta can ignore taunt during his turn, but obviously Vayne is going to be tanking the whole time, so all of our counterattacks are going to be hitting Vayne, unfortunately. Now that fear is locked, but it's given us locked damage immunity, which is rather nice. I will spam specials, absolutely spam specials. Ooh, nice, we've got some damage done there. That's rather smexy. Okay, let's just focus on Pirate King Hondo. I want to see if we can just take him out. That would be rather nice. Extra attacks there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Rotta's damage output in this setup is freaking insane. Now, obviously, this is a Relic 9 Pirate King Hondo, so we do have, you know, one whole level of Relic Delta going on. That's a 5% differential there against Pirate King Hondo in particular, but the others I'm not sure on their Relic levels. So I feel like... Oh my lord. What happened there? Apparently Smee does too much damage. Let's try that again. Yeah, I think that Smee just came out of nowhere and did a massive hit. He is using the Lumicron, so he does have a boatload of stats himself. So maybe I do actually need to focus just a smidgen on controlling that Smee, because he's going to hit really freaking hard. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell from those individual hits what's actually going on, but let's get rid of some of those stats. Wonderful, 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 and I'm just going to try and hit Smee around a little bit. Don't forget, when we do that basic, we are actually lowering the defense of that individual unit, and it is stacking, so it lets us do a little bit more damage all the frickin' time. Come on then, Smee. Yeah, Smee's punches are pretty heavy, pretty hefty. There's a lot of damage, generally speaking, in a PK Hondo team when they have Vayne and Smee available to them. It's kind of why Smee suffers a little bit in 3v3, not Smee in particular, PK Hondo, because they don't have, you know, you can't sacrifice Vayne. You absolutely need to have Vayne in your team. There's no way around that. Yeah, let's just get rid of Smee, even if he's going to revive. I'd rather not have him on the board right now. Oh, I see what's going on. See, this is interesting. So basically, because we were in damage immunity, we weren't taking damage, but we were taking hits. And under Pirate King Hondo's team, if they have used his ult and they got that unfavorable terms thing going on, they're going to land stacks of off balance on us. And when we take damage from off balance, kind of like exposes, right? They do 10% of your max health when they hit them. Now, this is exclusively like a GA squad arena / territory war issue, because in GAC, Rotta takes reduced damage from percentile health effects, so this won't do anything. But outside of it, you're going to take 10% max health damage for each stack of that. That's 540% of your max health. That's why he's getting one shot. It kind of makes sense. Rotta's own defensive ability is turning him against on PK Hondo, but I think that's still doable. Definitely in GAC, 100% in GAC, because you'll just be able to shrug that off. Plus, Pirate King Hondo won't be able to get any revives off either, so you could focus on just get rid of the ads and then get rid of him. Who haven't we faced so far? Is there actually a team comp in my squad arena that we can face? Don't think I've got a... Well, we've got a stranger, but the rest are all layers. All right, let's see if we can face off against that stranger. I'll see if I can grab him real quick. We'll go up against Layer over here, because why not? Gotta get rid of all these units. I think it's pretty reliable how well Rotta does against these teams by the looks of things, and it's only going to be better when he's got his Omicrons, and only better again once we've got that FDC going. So let's just lickety-split destroy this Galactic Legend. This one actually has, you know, like Relic 10. So we don't even have a benefit over here in terms of Relic Delta. Just casually throwing dual axes. He is an absolute monster, this dude. Like, just look at how quickly her protection just disappears. It's insane. Yes, you get all that recovery thanks to, you know, Drogon's keen stratagem ability. Second special. I never know the name of the actual ability. It's the one that puts keen stratagem out. Alright, let's get rid of those buffs. Blip. We want to be focusing on GL Leia because we don't want her building up ult any faster than she's allowed to. We certainly don't want her doing any good business. Alright, come on. Let's just get the AoE body slam, AoE stun. It's nice to be able to use that, because we had it in Colosseum, and it was basically worthless, because everything took no damage, more or less, from those AoE attacks. Well, at least the second one. It's nice to see it actually, good night, honey, doing something of note over here in GAC. So I imagine that Jin over there is going to try and get that revive off. There it is. But I'm not too worried. Oh, see you, Adrad. Watch out, R2. You're flying too close to the sun there, buddy. Good night. The damage is just insane, bro. Oh, yep, there he goes, and we'll body slam you as well. Oh, double kill, 2 for 1 there, coming out of Rotta. Smashing. Alright, let's take a look at this Stranger comp. Pretty standard Stranger comp, using the Luminara team. Look at that, triple R10s over here, R9 on Cal, R9 on Lumi. I'll be surprised. I'll be very surprised if we make it through this unscathed. I feel like the whole team is just going to cause us issues. Obviously, we can't stun these thanks to Starkiller. Yep, we'll be okay there. The fracture is going to be quite painful when that comes into play. Yeah, obviously the Lumicron is stopping us from being able to have any protection, which is obviously scary. But we'll just keep on throwing stuff out. Let's just get rid of buffs when we can. Oh well, we got rid of the Lumi, so that's kind of nice. Breathe in. Oh my lord, yeah, that's a lot of damage coming out of these boys. Now the good thing is we can just straight up ignore taunts. Thermal detonator's taking care of what's his face over there. I'm gonna get feared, but we've got locked damage immunity. That's good. If I can just get rid of Starkiller before he calls down his ship, that'd be kind of nice. No, too much damage coming out of these boys, unfortunately. It was kind of cool though. It was kind of cool. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have anything else that I can show you in my squadron. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's 12th and he's climbing with a 4-star Gear 12 Rotta. I think he's probably just put him in to test. Oh, he's actually got the FDC. Oh, okay, no, I thought he'd whaled on the whale pack. You can buy the whole FDC. I think it's probably like $100. It's crazy, but to anybody out there watching this video that has purchased the Rotta FDC through the store to get that full access in week one, I want to see what the results are from that. I'm just trying to see where it is. Where is it? Oh, I can't even see it right now. Is it? Maybe it's not on sale, but if it does drop and when it does drop, I salute you for keeping the lights on at CG. We appreciate you. Alright, so when it comes to New Republic, I have not looked at these new guys just yet. I don't think they're going to be that much use. I feel like they're going to be just placeholder guys until we get GL Mando. There's probably some comps in 3v3. I've got them relicked up and I've just got placeholder mods on them right now. They're not particularly important. 260 speed, it's just health sets over here. R5 has got a speed set, 350 speed, that's not too bad. I've probably given him mods that are far too good. What have I got over here? Colonel Ward has got, you know, relatively fast health and potency. Looks like we've got an offset as well. And then we've got Mando and Grogu, just gone for speed. And then Zeb over here, lots of health. I mean, he's going to be an evasive tank, essentially. I will try to get some testing done to try and figure him out, but I just haven't had the time just yet. Same for Snowtrooper Operative. Snowtrooper Operative is one of those units that does have Omicrons for GAC over here in the 3v3 world, but again, I just haven't spent any time. I haven't had the opportunity. Once I've got some learnings, I'll try to spread them with the tribe. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, please give the video a like. Let me know down below what you think of Rotta, what you think of these new units, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.